I'm Zachary Kahtava. I'm currently a senior at the business school at KU. I will be graduating here in just a few short days here on the 15th. I'm studying business finance with a concentration in data analytics. Micro-internships are supposed to be, whether in office or remote, a substitute to the typical traditional long-term internships that you see a lot of students do over the summer or sometimes even through a semester during part-time. Jeffrey Moss, he's the creator of Parker Dewey. Back when he made Parker Dewey back around 2015, his idea was how can he provide a platform for students to gain experience with any kind of company that would work well around their academic schedules while still providing them with strong connections and a good network and making good money. And kind of the idea of micro-internships was born from that. I started with them as the summer of 2018. And around that time, I had been commuting back to Lawrence to work a full-time job. And, I just remember thinking back then that I wanted to do a little bit more. I knew I was a business student majoring in different things, and the job I had at that point, albeit really good, didn't really have to do with what I wanted as a career. And so, looking around and using some connections both at KU and otherwise, I was able to come across Parker Dewey. And the projects I kind of worked on, it definitely ranges. At the time, I applied to really anything I was comfortable with. They have lead generation projects, which anyone who doesn't know what that is, that's a company who's looking for prospective clients or customers. They want to identify those people or groups and any relevant contact information. Other than lead gen, I did data analysis projects, manipulation projects, a lot of market research. There's a lot of market researcher projects on Parker Dewey, and that can range from, I know one I did for a venture capital company. It had to do with sports betting. Legislation had changed in the spring of 2018, and this venture capital company wanted to know everything from as simple as how do you place a sports bet all the way to who are the biggest companies and why. So the projects that I know Parker Dewey has available, as well as the projects I've done, has really ranged. The work I've done through Parker Dewey has completely informed what is been my career choice and what I'll be doing shortly here after graduation. The work was really incredible, and I remember, again, back in the summer of 2018 when I was looking for this kind of work, my whole motive was I wanted to find something that would work well against my schedule and, make me good money and really just build on the skills I was gaining while at KU. And I knew what it was. I knew it was consulting, but as a student, that's a very daunting task because what makes a good consultant? Experience. And for obvious reasons, students don't have that. Now, that being said, students should definitely not let that stop them from trying to tackle something like this. Micro-internships just in general, whether it be with Parker Dewey or other platforms, it's a great way to build contacts really fast and to gain some really valuable experience. I've had, been lucky enough to have a number of interviews for full-time offers as I've been getting closer and closer to graduation. And this type of experience has been brought up in every single interview. And, I've accepted a job with RSM US LLP. They're a tax and audit firm, but they have a consulting wing. And I'm going into their consulting wing as a business intelligence consulting associate. And I can promise you the number one experience that was on my resume that landed me that job was these kinds of project-based work that I've done for, I think, well over a dozen companies at this point. And one thing I do like to mention, don't be afraid, as you dive in, you're a student and you're going in head first and tackling these kinds of projects. When I applied, if I recognized just a few words in a project description, I applied, because these companies, they do understand that you're a student, and if you can show confidence and initiative when you're applying to the projects, they'll hire you for it, and it's all right to learn as you go. Parker Dewey has a multitude of tools and links that will allow you to learn as you work through any kind of project, and just the value behind the skills and experience you'll get from these projects, really it's unique on a resume as employers are going through that stack. I appreciate being able to share anything with my peers and alumni. I love getting the word about Parker Dewey out there, and hopefully fingers crossed some students will jump on.